Judiciary Committee.
Thank you. They've got nothing. That's what we just witnessed for the last hour. One of their witnesses has been indicted for working with Russian intelligence. Another witness has been indicted.
We're going to pull away from there. You saw that this is the oversight committee. Obviously, Democrats are in the minority on this committee.
Well, the Fox propaganda channel may want to cut away from the truth, but not us at the MeidasTouch Network. So let's take a look at the Democrats in their press conference where they have called out these MAGA Republicans for bringing Hunter Biden in for this closed-door deposition because the MAGA Republicans want to do everything in secret so they could run to Fox, their propaganda network. But from what all the Democrats are saying, seems like Hunter Biden crushed these MAGA Republicans like a bug. Here's Democratic Congressmember Eric Swalwell again. We're not going to cut away from it here on the MeidasTouch Network. Play the clip.
But what's really embarrassing, and I use the word secondhand embarrassment because that's what we witnessed in there, is they're so desperate to humiliate the president that they started asking the president's son personal details about a divorce that happened almost 10 years ago. That's where this has been reduced to. And they're doing all this, by the way, when we're just days away from the government shutting down. We're critically in need of funding for Ukraine, the humanitarian crisis over in the Middle East, and more security and a broader immigration plan in this country. They're wasting time, squandering an opportunity to do that because they've never accepted Joe Biden as the president. And now, in this last Hail Mary effort, they're going to try and pull off something. I promise you, past this prologue, it's not going to work.
So we go from Democratic Congressmember Eric Swalwell talking about this completely bogus closed-door deposition that MAGA Republicans took of Hunter Biden on Wednesday. That's all they wanted to do. Hunter Biden, Hunter Biden, Hunter Biden, this, Hunter Biden. I mean, can we please focus on the issues? We're moments away from a government shutdown. The MAGA Republicans are refusing to fund Ukraine, and yet this is what they are doing. Here's Democratic Congressmember Jared Moskowitz. Play the clip.
Thank you, Chairman Raskin. Soon-to-be Chairman Raskin, very soon. Let me just say that I think my colleagues and I are witnessing the death of the fake, faux, frivolous Joe Biden impeachment inquiry. In fact, as a Jewish American, when this is over, I will say mourner's Kaddish for this impeachment inquiry. There has been no evidence on Joe Biden from the beginning. There has been no evidence so far in this deposition linking Joe Biden at all. So as Jay-Z said, grand opening, grand closing. Thank you.
Now let's go to Democratic Congresswoman AOC. Play this clip.
I think the ranking member stated it completely. What we just witnessed over the last hour was, I think, a deep-sea fishing expedition because the Republican case has completely fallen apart over the last several weeks. After it's been exposed that the critical, one of their most key pieces of information was based on a source that was in communication with Russian intelligence. They are now trying to scramble to find anything to substantiate their fairy tale, is what we should call this. But I think more disturbingly, what we are seeing is just a complete and inappropriate expedition into the president's son, and for matters and subjects that are completely unrelated to an impeachment investigation. And I think it is extremely disturbing to see the lack of professionalism, the lack of grounding, and the abuse of public resources and abuse of public power in order to pursue something that truly, whose point at this juncture is very unclear. And with that, I hand it back.
Of course, it wouldn't be a Democratic Party, a pro-democracy, incredible press conference if we didn't have Democrat Jamie Raskin. Play the clip.
From Joe Biden. So what we saw, I think, was a rather embarrassing spectacle where the Republicans continued to belabor completely trivial points. They seem to be obsessively focused on speakerphones and use of speakerphone. I did not know that that was the devil's technology, but apparently it is. I believe, based on this first hour, that this whole thing really has been a tremendous waste of our legislative time and the people's resources. But I would love to have each of my colleagues come up and share their sense of what we just witnessed. And we'll start with the vice ranking member of the Oversight Committee, and then we'll go to Judge.
Sure thing. Thank you. Thank you so much.
And of course, here's Democratic Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. Play the clip.
You know, I'm just waiting on the point that the American people, in the words of my amazing soror, Fannie Lou Hamer, get to the point that they are sick and tired of being sick and tired. I mean, here's the reality. You're talking about an impeachment inquiry, and we know that Republicans could care less about facts. That is the reason that I said in the hearing in which we were going over whether or not they were going to find Hunter in contempt, I said the reason he would not want to testify behind closed doors is because all they do is lie. And I can tell you there is some lie that they are working on spinning coming up out of here.
I'll have to show you one more of Congresswoman Crockett. Play this clip.
I'm telling you that this is a waste of time, and we need to get back to this people's work. I am tired. The Republicans are going to lose the House, and y'all run this back for them when they do. They're going to lose the House because they have lost focus of what our job is, and our job is to take care of the American people, and that's the last thing that they've done.
My New Year's resolution is to start eating healthy, but my problem is eating healthy usually means bland or not enough food. That has all changed with Marley Spoon. This podcast is sponsored by Marley Spoon. Marley Spoon knows bland food is boring, so they created the best tasting meal kit money can buy. With our code MIDAS, M-E-I-D-A-S, you can get up to 25 free meals. 25 free meals. With Marley Spoon, you can choose from over 100 delicious recipes every week, from Cajun spiced chicken to poached salmon to butternut squash gnocchi to a vegan burrito bowl. And many of the recipes are completely customizable, whether you are looking for vegetarian meals, family-friendly dishes, or low-carb options. Marley Spoon has the food you want to eat. Between you and me, that Cajun spiced chicken is my absolute favorite, and the convenience is undeniable. Marley Spoon also saves you from making that extra grocery haul with their online market of pantry essentials. You can shop their selection of 125 plus items like seasonal produce, ready-to-heat options, meal shortcuts, extra proteins, and handy snacks, and easily add them to my next Marley Spoon box. With meal planning and food shopping taken care of, making delicious food at home has finally become effortless. Marley Spoon has flexible plans, endless options, and different ways to personalize, so cooking at home fits easily into your lifestyle. Plus, with Marley Spoon, you aren't locked in long term. Marley Spoon's flexible subscription allows you to edit, pause, or even cancel your boxes anytime. So, experience the most personalized meal kit with Marley Spoon. Head to marleyspoon.com/offer/Midas and use code Midas for up to 25 free meals. That's right, up to 25 free meals with Marley Spoon. One last time, that's Marley Spoon, MarleySpoon.com/offer/Midas for up to 25 free meals. And make sure you use our promo code Midas, M-E-I-D-A-S, so they know that we sent you. And here, Democratic Congressman Dan Goldman. Play the clip.
Let's go back to the oversight side. Dan Goldman.
Sure, I'll be brief. I want to be very clear. That first hour of this much anticipated testimony was the nail in the coffin to what is a complete bogus and sham impeachment inquiry. Not only were they unable to show any connection between Hunter Biden's business and President Biden, but Hunter Biden gave very detailed and clear explanations as to what his arm's length business transactions were with private parties in foreign countries who are investors and business people, like many people would have. He went through a laundry list of board seats and jobs that he has had over his 30-year career after he left Yale Law School, and he withstood some inappropriate attacks even in the first hour. So it is not simply there's no connection to the president, which we've known all along and which was made clear again, but there is a very understandable, coherent business explanation for every single thing that they asked for.
All right, can we take that and now compare it to these MAGA Republicans who didn't seem to be all that happy and also didn't seem to really know anything about when they're actually asked outside of their propaganda networks how to answer questions from the media. And then when they're in their propaganda echo chambers, it's just so pathetic. Here's James Comer watching his bogus, trumped up, literally trumped up case fall apart before his eyes. Play this clip.
What we've said over and over and over, Joe Biden took $200,000 directly from AmeriCorps Health. Do what?
He was a private citizen at the time of the $200,000 check was he not?
The $40,000.
$200,000 check which you cited twice.
So it's okay. So do you have a problem that Joe Biden's lied about this? Do you have a problem that AmeriCorps Health hooked investors?
I'm asking you, what specific action did he take as a public official, an elected public official?
Well, okay, hey, calm down. It's okay. All the angry liberals, what you're saying, they'll be all right. Okay. All right.
Here's one more clip of Comer Pyle. Play the clip.
Do you have that either as vice president or as president, Joe Biden used his political office in any way to benefit either Hunter or James Biden's business?
We have evidence that Joe Biden met with the Chinese officials.
What specific actions did he take?
We've had several people already testify that.
What action? How is AmeriCorps helped? How is this Chinese business helped by the fact that?
So let me ask you a question. You mentioned AmeriCorps Health. Does anyone in here question whether or not that was influence peddling? Does anyone question that? No.
There's a lot of questions about it, sir, because there was no evidence that Joe Biden did anything.
He got $200,000 from it, and the evidence that Jim Biden said. No, listen. Look, you can defend Joe Biden all day long. You can defend Joe Biden. You can be on his legal defense team.
How about CNN's Boris Sanchez asking, I think, some pretty basic questions to MAGA Republican Tim Burchett from Tennessee? Play the clip.
I'm not going to let you say things that are untrue, sir.
So, sir, the truth is that $20 million flowed through this family, whichever way it went. There's no records of taxes being paid. Statutes have run, and you're saying that is
a talking point that you've repeated, but it is not actually what's in the bank records, sir. What's in the bank records is that $15 billion of that money never even went to the Biden family. The other $5 million, there is exactly zero indication
where did that $15 million
Joe
go
Biden.
to? Where did that money go to then?
To Devin Archer and other business associates related to President Biden.
There's over 20 shell corporations. Why would you set up a shell corporation that absolutely nothing?
There's actually evidence from the Oversight Committee that those corporations had legitimate business dealings. You may define them as shell corporations the way that you see it.
Then what are they?
Some of them were consulting firms. Some of them were lobbying firms.
No, they weren't. Listen, if you want to do the interview, you just do the interview. But you're asking me a question. I'm trying to give you an answer, but
you're not giving me an honest answer, sir. You're repeating a talking point that has been debunked repeatedly. Have you read the bank records? Have you seen the bank records?
I have seen
Do they say Joe Biden's name on them?
They say Hunter Biden's name, and what was the
product he wasn't vice president.
Influence to the big guy.
He wasn't vice president.
Gave name, date.
Here is Jim Jordan simping for Jared Kushner. Play the clip.
And Dan Goldman, I don't think we have the soundbite queued up, but I think Dan Goldman came out and said, oh yeah, Hunter had nothing to do with foreign governments, but Jared Kushner did. That narrative come up?
Again, I'm not going to get into what came up in this interview today, this deposition, but the idea that Jared Kushner did something wrong is ridiculous. I mean, the Trump family that has been investigated more than any family on the planet, and what they've attempted to do to President Trump and been doing to President Trump over the last 7 years is unbelievable. So, again, I don't want to get into that, but I will say this.
Well, let's do this. Let's do this, Congress.
And finally, here are the MAGA Republicans on Fox. The whole gang's there: Jim Jordan, Adam Smith, and James Comer Pyle. Play the clip.
Exit question. On a scale of 1 to 10, how damaging was today's testimony or deposition to Hunter Biden? Jason Smith, you go first. 1 to 10, 10 being the worst.
Well, I would say that they're pretty good at not recalling many things, so I would say an 8.
Okay, James Comer.
I'd say an 8.
Okay, Jim Jordan.
Yeah, Sean,
Sean, I think it was very good for us. As I said, I think we got a lot of information that we can use if, in fact, we have a public hearing, as Chairman Comer is talking about.
I mean, these clowns say they give themselves an 8 of 10. As Democratic Congressman Jared Moskowitz says, so it was a B-. Sounds like grade inflation. I don't know about you, but this new crew of Democrats going on the offense, bringing the fight to these pathetic MAGA Republicans. Look, folks, these MAGAs, in my view, they're not like conservative. These aren't real Republicans. This is the MAGA mutation. This is Trumpy garbage, if you ask me. And by the way, I think that there are reasonable conservatives out there like Mitt Romney, who I agree with on certain issues. I disagree with issues. Ultimately, when Mitt Romney talks about the importance of character, that's important to me. Here, watch Mitt Romney in this interview. Play the clip.
I think that those comments there may raise some questions for people watching at home. Would you vote for Donald Trump over Joe Biden?
No, absolutely not. I mean, for me, there are two factors in deciding who I want to have as the leader of my country and the person who is the example of the president for my kids and my grandkids. One is their position and policies. And on foreign policy, I'm not aligned with Donald Trump, at least as I understand his policy. On domestic policy, yeah, I align with many of his domestic policies. But there's another dimension besides policy, and that's character. And I think what America is as a nation, what has allowed us to be the most powerful nation on earth and the leader of the earth, is the character of the people who have been our leaders, past presidents, but also mothers, fathers, church leaders, university presidents, and so forth. Having a president who is so defaulted of character would have an enormous impact on the character of America. And for me, that's the primary consideration.
Senator Mitt Romney.
He's a Republican. He's making sense. He's making some sense to me there. I'll say that. That's not what this MAGA weirdo Jim Jordan, James Comer crap is. Why I want to show you all of these clips so you can judge and evaluate for yourself. I'm Ben Meiselas. This is the MeidasTouch Network. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 3 million subscribers together. Have a wonderful day.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.